My job is to help bring as many resources as I can, helping your local officials here for you. Now, what we have gotten, FEMA has said that they are sending response teams, you know, where they set up shop. It comes on a trailer, the sides fold down. You can fill in all the information that you need to get your reimbursements and stuff like that. The one thing I caution everybody, they're pretty good now. They were worse before Irene. We had big problems upstate Irene. We made them work better. They are better. I was just with Napolitano, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and she's in charge of FEMA, and they have like 100 teams coming. So I will try to get one here for Broad Channel to be set up here. But one thing I say to you is this: please keep documentation. Let's say you had to junk your car. Save the registration, the ownership, even if you have a bill of sale. If you lost furniture, try, if you don't have it, you bought it 30 years ago, you don't have any sale, take a picture before before they destroy it. Save as much documentation as it can. You can understand that if you come up to FEMA and say, I lost my car, or I lost my couch, or my refrigerator, or my stove, they can't just believe you. They need some kind of documentation. Do it as good as you can. Obviously, if things are older, you don't have the best documentation. It's very important to do. Second, I have gotten Caterpillar. I called up the head of Caterpillar in Illinois to donate 200 generators.
Nice.
Not donate. I shouldn't say donate. Lend. We're going to have to give them back when we get electricity. The Irish term, right? I will try. They're in the hands of OEM, the City Office of Emergency Management. I will try to get some generators here. And Marty, if you guys got to give me which ones, what you need them for, most particularly, and different people need different kinds of generators. In terms of gasoline, the Port of New York, I'll try to get to each one. I'm just trying to remember them. The Port of New York, there's a huge shortage of gasoline everywhere. Two reasons. First, no mass transit, so people are using their cars more. Two, a lot of the generators that people actually have to take the place of no electricity take gasoline. The Coast Guard had closed the Port of New York because all the buoys were blown away and no one could see the channels. I called them 2 days ago. I've gotten them to bring more people in. They have replaced all the buoys. They also had to look at all the ship channels and see that there was no debris or silt so the ships could get through under or below a certain draft. They've done it. The port opened about an hour ago. There's lots of barges and other things that have gasoline on them that should be coming to shore. You're not going to solve the whole problem in 2 days, but we should see significant relief. If your local gas stations aren't getting gas, now some of them don't have generators, so they can't pump gas. And that will have to wait for the electricity to turn on unless we can get them a generator, so you'll have to let us all know about that. But that is something that can be done. Next thing, food. Okay, they've just delivered, FEMA, 1 million pounds of food. I don't know what it is, but it's edible.
Spam. They take what we get.
It just came, and we will try to get food. I don't know where, St. Virgili. I don't know what we see. Right here, to get food for people who need it. They also have like 36 million liters of water, and so they brought in a lot of stuff. We just have to get it to you. And I will rely on your local folks. It's on to this. The way it works is the feds don't give it out directly. They give it to the city, and then the city gives it out to everybody else. But there now is a whole lot of food here. Electricity. Con Ed, I'll just put a plug in for you in Con Ed. They have huge problems. I don't even know how the electricity works here. Does it come from Rockaway? Does it come from...
We're the last leg. Rockaway is like, in the past, we're the last one to get restored. And right
Got it.
So we're asking...
Is Howard Beach out too?
Howard Beach is out. So the places in northern Queens would be forced to go.
Okay.
Con Ed needs to go past that and prioritize Broad Channel.
Okay.
As opposed
Given how bad you got hit as opposed to Bayside or someplace like that, which is higher ground and not on the water, I will ask Con Ed to try to maybe work a little, if they can, depends on how the structure is, work backwards. Start with the places close to the water like you.
That'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Okay. Can't guarantee they'll do it. I don't know how it works physically, but I will ask them right away as soon as I leave here. What other problems? Just let me go through the list of problems, sir, and then...
The gasoline was huge, okay, the electricity is number one down here, that would be huge. The food, we're looking to make this a staging area, and we're hoping for help to make FEMA.
Great, we will.
We were on our hands and knees 10 minutes ago, it's still dirty, but we'll clean it up if this is a staging area with electric.
I spent many a happy evening at this place.
We'll use this to feed the people, and we'll use this to get the water out, we'll use this to get the information out.
Okay, I will ask FEMA to make a staging area here, certainly in Broad Channel somewhere.
It's going to be a major problem down here, and we're looking for some type of...
Everybody loves it, right? But that's a common issue with everybody.
What's the solution?
We need burners. We need maybe kerosene.
All right, I'll have to look into that. Okay, I'll try to look into it. I don't even know. Do they have, is there such a thing as a temporary burner that you guys got to talk to me about what to do there? Somebody who's a steam fitter or somebody like
Who
that.
needs heat in here? Right here.
Everybody.
I think they need heat. Heat before we need raviolis, right?
How smart is it having those
Unless they're
heaters
spicy.
and oil in the dirt?
Like the raviolis.
Everything. I'll get one of them.
Hey, what about the oil that's around the houses? You put those heaters in there, you're going to burn the island down.
Next thing I was asked, thank you, Bill. The next thing I was asked is about 47, if it is fit to open given what happened. And I will try to get the Board of Ed to assess that very Department of, I'm an old school, Department of Education to do that as quickly as we can. I think, this is not a certainty, so don't put it in the bank. None of this is in the bank. We're all going to try hard on all of this. But I think the plan is to open the schools on Monday. Is that right? So you need to get 47 assessed before that. We don't know what damage they've faced, right?
They took water.
A lot of flooding?
Yeah.
Basement or first floor or?
First floor.
Okay. All right.
We're looking to get, and maybe consistent with the city issue, the light towers are compliant. Light towers set up around town. FEMA came in,
De Blasio said he will try to take care of getting you some light towers from NYPD, but I see Ray Kelly at 3 or 4 briefings a day, and I will mention it to him as well. Yes, okay, we finished with your list?
basically covered.
Okay, I'll take a few questions, and then I'll turn it over to everyone else. I'm on my way to the Rockaways, yeah.
Very, very serious question.
I will repeat the question for people who can't hear it.
All of our homes are filled with oil. Our oil tanks are filled over, and our propane is inside our home.
You burn the island
Get
down.
bottled water.
If you put up power or electricity or something,
Okay.
all it takes is
One spark.
The whole force.
It's going to be like Breezy Point.
Okay, let me just speak to that. That's not
We're
necessarily.
going to have our fire department address that.
Look, it's a major issue. It's got to be cleaned up. You know, the fuel oil is combustible, it's not flammable. Okay, it will not go with a spark. It will not light. So, I'm not saying it's an easy thing, and it's a mess. But number 2 fuel oil, okay, isn't going to light from a spark. The biggest concern we have with number 2 fuel oil in the house is how the hell to get it out, because it stinks. It's extremely difficult to remove. The fuel oil you see on the street, the fuel oil, Dawn, you're right, Dawn soap is the number 1 thing, not Ajax, anything else. I don't know what's in Dawn, but it cuts it. Use Dawn, that's what they use for when they do the Exxon Valdez spill, it's Dawn. But as far as it blowing up, it's a combustible, not a flammable. There's a difference. It's not going to light from a spark. So I'm not saying that we don't be concerned. We have large piles of debris out there. Sanitation's doing an unbelievable job of removing them. The debris is the problem, and the fire department access is a big problem. right now, we're asking for FDNY to stage a fire department unit over here, because coming over from Rockaway is going to take them 20 minutes with that traffic, and our house is just as tight as Breezy Point, and if we get a fire, it's going to go up. So we're asking for it. We haven't seen it yet. All right, the propane issue, okay? The propane tanks have broken loose, all right? Some people disconnected them, some people didn't. All right, the tanks that are floating around, if they're sealed, okay, you stand them up, okay, they're not a problem. If they burst loose, they probably leaked out. Propane is heavier than air, okay? So you don't want a leaking propane tank near your house because that product is going to seep in under your basement or your crawl space, and that's a problem. We cannot have leaking propane tanks around. If you have a leaking propane tank, that is a hazmat FDNY response. Call 911. Let them come and take care of it. All right? Don't try and take care of it yourself. It's also cryogenic. It will burn you if you touch it. So propane, you see the tank. I see them all over. Stand them up. All right? We'll get the propane company to collect them. Now, if it's not open and it's standing on the ground like most of them, you'll know if it's open, you'll hear it. If it's leaking, don't go near it, okay? Basically, call 911, let FDNY come down and address it. Most of them that I saw around town are laying on their sides. You can stand them back up, try to get them where they're not going to get hit by a car.
I want to ask you, this amount of the tank, oil tank, next to people's homes have flipped. Yes. How do we help them out, everybody, to get them righted up?
All right, the question is, and it's on every block, mine did the same thing. The oil tanks flipped over. They either leaked out, didn't leak out. Most cases they did. How do we get them back up? Okay, there's two ways to get them back up. You call your oil company, good luck in getting somebody down, or you get together with your neighbors, okay? If it's empty, which a lot of them are because they leaked out. If it's full, okay, then you got to try and do an offload with a transfer pump if you can get one. There's 1 or 2 floating around town, and Jimmy used, I got a number here. I'll give it out there just because, you know, we had a guy here who did good business with one of the members up here, and it's a guy named Ricky, 347-831-0710. You can grab Jimmy Harper after the meeting. Guy came down, didn't rip him off, lifted the tank up, got him back in business. But bottom line is, everybody's got this problem. Get 5 or 6 of your friends together if you could possibly lift it back up.
Can you read the number again? Read the number again, Danny, please.
All right. The number is... Okay, first number here, I'll give you a cell number, 917-686... 686-7253. You know what? Grab Jimmy Harper at the end, okay? 686-7253. All right, we're going to move all the questions. Grab Jim Harper. He's right here. You know what? Congressman Turner's here. We're going to ask Congressman Turner to come up here and speak to us. Bob Turner lost his home. He can relate.
I want to get the gentleman
Charles Schumer, yes. What do you think?
He was taking all the information and everything, but I don't see him writing everything down.
Listen to me. We're going to get, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We're going to get all that information.
When I was your when I was your congressman, I wrote it all down by myself. When I'm a senator, I bring an aide. He wrote it. His name is Nick Martin. He's from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Sorry, he's not from Queens.
Chuck for president.
Yes, sir.
Portable propane heaters. We all have propane tanks. They're laying all over the street. They use them to dry taping on sheetrocking jobs. Because they connect by hose to the gas tanks. You can leave the gas tank outside your house and have the portable propane heater heating your home.
You know what, Kenny? It's a good idea. We'll look into it. It absolutely has to be outside because you're right. You can't bring the propane in and you'll never get approval for that. But you know what? It's another idea. These are the ideas we're going to bring back to these guys. Is it something that these guys could look into to supply us with? So for the people whose oil burners are underwater, it's not going to work. Can we get something where we got a product here we can burn off, which is the propane. It's ready to go. It's safe, and have something in it. We'll look into it. We'll see if they can get an answer for us. 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna just stop a second. The Congressman Turner came here. Breezy Point has been burned to the ground, and his house was included. In the meantime, first off, I want to say thank you to Senator Schumer. I know he's going to take care of his stuff. We have a great line.
You know, I got to cover the whole state. I'm going over to Rockaway right now. They got another meeting like this. But what I want to do is any things that you think about a little later or you couldn't bring up that's federal, let your association know. They will call me, and I will get on it. I love this community. You've always been good to me. I'll be there for you because you've always been there for me. Thank you very much.
Now we have Congressman Bob Turner. drug crowd. He's been infected as much as anybody in this room. House burned down along with all his neighbors in Breezy Point.
Okay, now I talk into it, okay. I was hoping to come here today and tell you that I've accomplished some things. I talked to OME and said we need MREs. Those are the meals ready to eat in military. We've got a warehouse full of them. We've got pallets of water. For some reason, getting them from wherever they are to here is a problem that is not solved. And I can't understand it for the life of me. I am hoarse, screaming at these a-holes. and that's just one department. I've been in Bell Harbor. There's major fires, about 16 houses taken out. There's no power. All the things you're experiencing here. And the city says that neighborhood is fine and it's intact. We got to get somebody down there as well. What's working is that people are taking care of each other. There have been volunteers collecting food and clothing and dispensing them. There are block groups keeping their eye on their neighbors, ringing the doorbells. God bless you, you got to do it, and get organized and love one another. This is the time for it. God bless you. I'm here to work.
Listen, folks, I see people drifting out. On Monday, all right, Monday at 2 p.m., all right, we're going to try and do a follow-up meeting here. All right, hopefully it'll work out. We're going to look to get some of these questions answered. We're going to try and get a FEMA rep here, okay? And we're going to try and do some follow-up from what we worked on here and build on it and come back here Monday. We're hoping to have this place open. The councilman has guaranteed us electric and lights for tonight, and then food for tonight. We're going to continue to take questions, but as for the people who are leaving here, all right, try to come back here Monday, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and see what we got done and what we didn't get done.